for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
So we've been spending a lot of time talking about fats, fatty nutrients, the ones that are said to be fat soluble. They dissolve in oils as distinguished from the watery nutrients, the ones that dissolve in water. And understanding this distinction is really important if we are going to leverage, exploit, take advantage of the power of nutrition. How the body handles the fat-soluble nutrients is distinct from how it handles the water-soluble nutrients, and understanding these two concepts, water solubility versus fat solubility, is really important. One of the reasons why we don't get the best use of our skincare products is because we don't make this distinction. So we allow skincare companies to bamboozle us. Likewise with nutrition as well. One of the reasons the Beyond Tangy Tangerine is so fundamental and so effective and quickly effective is because it contains mega doses, super high doses of the electrical, water-soluble nutrients. In the world of skin and skin health, a world most of us are fascinated with, some of us are obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. Skin health, skin care, ingredients. In this world that's so predatory and exploitative and filled with ignorance and misunderstandings that make us vulnerable to the deceit of phony companies run by bookkeepers and bankers and marketers and money people who could care less about us, who could care less about our skin, who are so bottom line oriented that it allows them to steal, basically. And we're complicit because we don't understand these distinctions. Healthy skin, folks, healthy skin is about healthy fats. Period. You cannot have healthy skin without leveraging the power of fats, both topically and internally. The vast majority of skin diseases, ranging from eczema to psoriasis to acne, even dry skin and brown spots and accelerated aging and wrinkles and photo damage, these are all associated with problems with fats and fatty hormones. That means we got to understand how to work with essential fatty acids, with fatty hormones, DHEA and estrogen and pregnenolone, as well as phytonutrients, that is plant nutrients from veggies and from fruits, particularly the peels of fruits, which is where the fats are located. The peels of fruits contain the fatty nutrients. That's why it's better to eat the peel than it is to eat the fruit. The peel is where the medicine is. Using all of these substances is critical, vital, job number one for keeping the skin healthy and eliminating skin issues and preventing them. Absorption of these fats is also important. It's not just what you take, it's not just what you eat, it's what you absorb. Just taking nutrients and eating correctly isn't going to help us if we have Crohn's disease, celiac disease, any intestinal issues, pancreatic issues, stomach issues. All of these systems are important for processing fats. Liver issues. 100 million people have fatty liver disease. Fatty liver disease is obviously a fat problem. The liver processes fats, and the liver is a digestive organ. Something as simple and as underappreciated as our spit, our saliva, which is a rich source of digestive enzymes, particularly lipase, fatty digestive enzymes. Something as simple as our saliva can have an impact on fat absorption and on skin beauty. When was the last time you went to your dermatologist for eczema, say, or psoriasis, and he wrote your prescription? Chew food. Chew food a lot. By the way, chewing food is one of the best weight loss tricks you could ever use. The more you chew, the less you're going to eat. That's why fast foods are always soft and mushy. They want you to eat more. They want you to buy more. Chewing your food or eating chewy food, chewy bread, food that requires lots of chewing, is going to make you eat less because it's work. Nobody likes to work. Anyway, the most important types of fats, or one of the most important types of fats, are the fatty vitamins. Vitamins D, E, A, and K. DEEK. You got 6 major vitamins, and each one performs one or more of 3 fundamental functions. You got 6 vitamins: D, E, A, K, and B and C. And each one of these vitamins performs or can be classified as performing one of 3 functions. Some of the vitamins are cofactors, particularly B, C, and K. These are cofactors. They're helpers. They facilitate chemical reactions. They act to support chemical reactions. A chemical reaction is just tinker toys. I always get a kick out of people who think that I'm smart because I study chemistry, because I love chemistry. Chemistry, you don't have to be smart to like chemistry. You just have to know about Tinker Toys. If you can play with Tinker Toys, you can figure out chemistry, because that's all chemistry really is. It's Tinker Toys. Tinker Toys getting changed into other Tinker Toys. That's what chemistry is. Tinker Toy A getting turned into Tinker Toy B, getting turned into Tinker Toy C. So if you can play with Tinker Toys, if you can manipulate Tinker Toys, you can understand chemistry. It's about shapes. Shape A going to shape B, going to shape C. Just think Tinker Toys. Vitamins B, C, and K, these cofactors, facilitate the shape-shifting, the morphing of Tinker Toy 1 to 2 to 3 or A to B to C. By the way, think about this. The entire body, at any given moment, there are trillions upon trillions upon trillions, quadrillions, septillions, zillions, countless chemical reactions, these A to B to C to D to E to F, back and forth and back and forth. That's what biology is. That's what chemistry is. That's an amazing idea. At any given moment, a cell is doing this shape-shifting stuff. The molecules in a cell are doing this shape-shifting stuff to the tune of trillions of times a second. How the heck does that happen? And all of it requires these cofactor vitamins, B, C, and K. You can see why these things are so important. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go away.
A lot of people's lives and bodies are out of balance. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops optimize pH level and get rid of harmful waste and acid. Just a few drops in water restores vibrance and energy and gets you back in balance. Now order 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Sign up for monthly auto shipping and save 25%. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
My name is Bill Bonner, and I have an important message. Right now, the highest levels of government are struggling against an inevitable crisis, but they're about to lose control. When this happens, it will rip our country apart in ways you never imagined, from where we shop to the family you want to protect. Look, I've made predictions like this before. A few years ago, I warned that the housing prices would collapse. Before that, I warned that .com companies would crash, and they did. Those who listened had a chance to save themselves, but this has nothing to do with the stock market. This will affect us all. I've posted a free video at disappearingdollar.com. Maybe you'll disagree with my conclusions, but first you need to watch this video and see the facts for yourself. You can watch the video for free right now by going to disappearingdollar.com. Again, that's disappearingdollar.com.
If you're like me, you're concerned about the stock market and the economy. You're asking the questions, but it just doesn't seem that you're getting the right answers. Well, my friends at the Wealth Preservation Institute not only have the answers, but they've put together a free report, How to Survive the Upcoming Economic Collapse and Protect Your 401ks, IRA savings, and retirement income. Don't hesitate. This report's for free for a limited time by calling 888-772-2929. That's 888-772-2929. Take back your financial lives today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Okay, so we're talking about fats, the fatty vitamins in particular, 6 major vitamins with 3 fundamental functions. 3 of them are cofactors. They assist chemistry. They make or they facilitate chemical reactions that are already occurring. Without vitamins B, C, and K, these chemical reactions aren't happening. Yes, it's true. These cofactor vitamins aren't responsible for igniting or initiating the chemistry, but they're critical for facilitating it, and without it, without B, without C, without K, you run into deficiency disease states. In fact, ultimately, you'll run into death. That's a definition of a vitamin, by the way. A substance that the body cannot make, but which is essential for chemistry to occur. So essential that without them, deficiency diseases and ultimately death will happen. That makes them important, folks. Very important. Vita means life. Vitamins, the amines of life. So, 3 of them are cofactors. They facilitate shape-shifting. 2 of them are hormones, A and D. That means they don't just facilitate, they ignite. They make things happen. They activate. B, C, and K are important as cofactors, but A and D, they ain't no mere cofactors. They turn it on. Those are your building substances. They're your summertime vitamins. They're your happy vitamins. They support the immune system. They support muscle development. They support skin health. And they're fatty. Now, vitamin D, the best way to get it is clearly, most importantly, from the sun. You'll get it in supplements, of course, and it's found in foods too, animal foods and mushrooms. Vitamin A, likewise, is an animal product. Only found in animals. There's no vitamin A in vegetables. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you that there is. There is so much misunderstanding about this idea that beta-carotene is vitamin A. It is not. I actually heard a physician on the radio, and I got so mad I actually called. I had to call him. I usually don't call the shows, but I had to call this guy. And, of course, he denied it. He said, yes, beta-carotene is vitamin A. We know it's vitamin A. He said this on the air. Wrong. Beta-carotene is not vitamin A. It's a retinoid, and it can be used like vitamin A and converted into vitamin A, but it is not vitamin A, and not everybody can do this conversion, at least not efficiently. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you're out of luck on this one. And this is one of the reasons why veganism and vegetarianism is not natural. Human beings are not vegetarians, and they're not vegans. Yes, I know I don't eat a lot of meat. I hardly eat it at all. But you can't deny the fact that animal foods, and that includes, of course, dairy and eggs and fish, animal foods are rich sources of nutrients that are unavailable in plants. Now, I know that the way we treat our cows and the way we treat our dairy animals and chickens is not great, and that's the problem with the eggs. And how we process the meat, of course, is a problem also. Hamburgers are not paleo, by the way. Our paleo ancestors didn't eat hamburgers. How we process the food today, how we process the meat, how we treat the animals, that's the problem. But the fact is, from a health perspective, there are nutrients in dairy and nutrients in eggs and nutrients in meat that is unavailable otherwise. A and D particularly. These are building substances. The 6th vitamin, vitamin E. Now, that is a weird one. That's an unusual one. B, C, and K, they're involved in chemistry. They're cofactors. A and D are involved in chemistry. They make it happen. But vitamin E, it's not really involved in chemistry. Vitamin E is weird. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about vitamin E because, like other nutrients, like health in general, there's a lot of misunderstandings here, and vitamin E is crazy important for the skin. Vitamin E is just underappreciated. It's misunderstood. And as important as it is for skin healing, as important as it is for the nervous system, as important as it is for hormone health, we just don't talk a lot about it, or we don't understand a lot about it. And partially that's because it's one of the most recent, I think it may be the most recent vitamin that we really knew about. Most vitamins were discovered in the 20s and 30s. Vitamin E didn't really get going until the 1940s. If you're dealing with hormone health issues, if you're a woman, you should know that vitamin E balances out estrogen. Estrogen obviously is super important. It's a critical skin health hormone, but it has a dark side. And vitamin E, as it turns out, can help keep estrogen under control. If you're dealing with menopausal issues, vitamin E can be super helpful. If you're dealing with PMS or autoimmune diseases, which are estrogenic, tend to be estrogenic. Do you know most autoimmune victims are women? It's the estrogen component. Vitamin E protects us against excess estrogen or poorly broken down estrogen, I should say. So vitamin E is not really important about its importance and its relevance to health is not really about how it participates in chemical reactions. It's more about protection. It facilitates healing because it protects the skin. It facilitates skin healing dramatically because it has this protective response or protective ability. Vitamin E for burns, vitamin E for scrapes, cuts. If you pop a zit and you get a big old welt, vitamin E in high doses can really dramatically speed healing. I mean high doses. And you need 2,000, 3,000 IU of vitamin E to get this effect. That's a lot. Even 400 IU, according to the recommended daily allowance folks, the RDA people, that's a lot. The RDA people want you to think you need 10 or 15. I think it's 14 international units as the minimum or as the recommended daily allowance. Baloney. Most studies done on vitamin E, as far as heart protection and brain protection and nerve protection and skin health, involve 200 to 400 IU of vitamin E. I recommend 400 IU of vitamin E a day. Which is a lot more than the RDA folks recommend, and a lot more than you're going to get from food. Vitamin E is not really a food vitamin. There's not a lot of foods that contain high amounts of the stuff. There's foods that contain it, but not high amounts of it. So vitamin E is about protection. It's a guardian. It's like the Secret Service of the body. It stands by silently until it's required to protect the body and biochemistry particularly from oxygen. Really, it's an antioxidant. It's a fat antioxidant, much like melatonin. Melatonin and vitamin E kind of work together. That's another thing about vitamin E. It works together with a lot of things. Vitamin E and selenium work together. Always take those two together. And by the way, alpha lipoic acid, which is not an essential nutrient, works together with vitamin E also. And for that matter, vitamin C. Vitamin C, selenium, vitamin E, and alpha lipoic acid are a team. They all protect. They're like a protective team. They protect our fats. And if you're not absorbing your fats, you're going to have a problem absorbing all of those nutrients. Vitamin E has a major role in the nervous system and in brain health. Nerve cell membranes are particularly fatty. So you have Alzheimer's disease. In fact, cognitive function is really one of the places that vitamin E really shines, is improving our ability to cognate, to think. Folks who have dementia. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We've got some lines open for you at 844-236-6010, 844-236-6010. We'll come back with you and your phone calls and more good health information on The Bright Side right after this. From the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, 1991 article, stratum corneum lipids serve as bound water modulator, meaning fats in the skin keep your skin moist and soft and hydrated. Stratum corneum, that's the surface of the skin. Most of you guys know that. The hard, rough surface, the hard, resilient surface. Shouldn't be rough, but resilient. Keeps water out. Stratum corneum lipids, fats, have been found to be an important determinant involved in the water-holding function. That means you can drink all the water you want, folks, but if your fats are off, if you're not getting your essential fatty acids, if you're not absorbing your essential fatty acids and your fatty vitamins, you are going to have dry skin. You can use all the moisturizer you want, and you can drink all the water you want. It's not going to make a difference if you're not processing fats. On the other hand, if you got dry skin, you got a fat problem, use your ultimate EFAs. Make sure you take them with food. Throw in your fatty vitamins, especially vitamin A, by the way. Super important for skin moisturization. And make sure you're absorbing the whole thing using your digestive enzymes, your ultimate enzymes. And don't forget probiotics. Good bacteria are very, very important for fat processing. That's really one of the underappreciated roles of the microbiome, the universe of bacteria that live in our gut, is their role in helping us process fats and fatty hormones. Women who have estrogen problems, think probiotics, think the microbiome, in addition to your fatty nutrients. All right, tomorrow we'll continue talking about vitamin E. We'll talk about vitamin E and Alzheimer's disease, vitamin E and Parkinson's disease, vitamin E in anti-aging. We'll be talking about vitamin E in diabetes. Vitamin E is protective against metabolic syndrome, which is a high blood pressure and heart disease and brain issues that are associated with diabetes. Vitamin E also has an interesting role to play when it comes to the health of the lymphatic system. You know, the lymph processes fats in a way. The lymph is our circulatory system for fats and fatty vitamins. When we get sick, or when we get older, or when we're toxic and our lymphatics are all clogged up, we're not going to get our fats. That's another way that you can become fat deficient or EFA deficient or fatty vitamin deficient, is if you've got lymphatic congestion. That's why Rebounder can be so helpful. There's a good reason why cancer and clogged lymph go hand in hand, especially breast cancer, which is has lymphatic involvement. Man, there's nothing in the body when it comes to protecting yourself from cancer and other diseases, especially cancer though, than keeping your lymph moving. Oh my God. This is probably the single most underappreciated system in the body, the lymphatic system, and it's our fat delivery system in addition to helping the body process toxins. Okay. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Santa Cruz and say hi to Steve. What's going on, man? How you doing, Steve?
Good morning, Ben. I hope you had a nice weekend. I was your last call on Friday.
Okay, I recognize your voice. Remind me what we were talking about.
Myeloma, blood cancer.
Okay, yes.
Apparently, it's a somewhat rare thing. Before we get started, can I say that I really enjoy your explanations? They're really fantastic in your energy and so on. Have you ever thought of writing a book?
I've been writing a book for years, man, and I write, but writing a book is like a whole process, and I've been writing one for a while. So I've thought of it, but there's a big difference between thinking of something and doing it, as you probably know. Okay, so myeloma, you want to talk about that?
Yes, sir.
Is it multiple myeloma, did they say?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so basically it's a bone marrow problem. The bone marrow is some of the most active tissue in the body. And so it makes sense that cancers would show up there. Cancer and fast-dividing cells obviously go hand in hand. So myeloma, is it for you, sir?
I'm sorry?
Is it for you?
No, it's for a friend of mine.
Okay, because of the nature of myeloma and the bone marrow and how fast cells divide, they'll tell you that it's uncurable, that they can only treat it. And they'll give you, guess what, steroids and chemo and drugs that suppress the immune system. That's basically how they treat myeloma. But with all cancers, which you're dealing with, and this is so important, I'm writing an article on it right now, cancer is basically not cancer of the organ, but it's cancer of the cells. And this understanding, this distinction is really important if we're going to understand health in general, but specific cancer. Because we always talk about lung cancer, we always talk about prostate cancer or blood cancers like multiple myeloma, kidney cancer, etc. We always refer to the organ. But the problem's not in the organ until it's too late. The problem is at the cell level, percolating along until it hits the organ. So to address cancer, the best way to do it is to prevent it, but if you want to address it, you got to work on the cell, and that means reducing stresses on the cell, and there's three major stresses. It's really a dramatic version of all degenerative diseases, which are caused by stresses on the cell. So you're dealing with a deficiency in nutrients, you're dealing with hypoxia or deficiency in oxygen, and you're dealing with toxicity, and that's it. And this idea of all the different types of cancer, hundreds of different types of cancer, and now doctors tell you they're all different diseases and it's genetics and they got to do fancy schmancy tests and use stem cells and chemotherapy, etc. The only reason we got to do these ridiculous treatments, by the way, chemotherapy is literally killing your body, literally, not figuratively. The reason we feel like we don't have any other choice is because we're treating cancer at the organ level, not at the cell level. Now, I want to be very clear here, you guys. And Steve, listen, cancers remit. Do you know this? It's happened for eons. We've seen cancer spontaneously stop. So if the body can handle cancer in some people, it can handle it in anybody. The body is capable of dealing with it, but we have to support it on all turns. Killing cancer is not the answer, because if the soil is still dirty, the next fruit or the next plant that comes out of the soil is going to be sick. So yeah, if you have an emergency, you got to use chemo or radiation or whatever. You got to do what you have to do. But if you want to work on it truly at the same time that you're doing your chemo and the same time you're doing your steroids or your surgery, make sure you're pounding the body with nutrients, particularly the protecting nutrients like vitamin E and selenium and vitamin C. Magnesium is especially important. You can get something called a Myers cocktail, which is a combination of B vitamins and vitamin C and magnesium that they'll stick right in your blood. And this is the way to do it, by the way, is put it right in the blood. If you have cancer, again, by the time you see the cancer, this has been a cell disease for a long time. You just didn't notice it. So you got to take drastic measures, and I'd be doing IV nutrition. Then you got to make sure you're oxygenating, and that means deep breathing and moving the body, especially the lymph, but also hyperbaric oxygen. Many hospitals have these hyperbaric oxygen chambers that you can sit into where they drive oxygen in. And when you're doing that, you got to make sure that you're using antioxidants too, because oxygen has this dual nature. It has a dark side. So making sure you're using antioxidants, the combination of pounding the nutrition in, the Mighty 90, obviously that goes without saying, and even IV nutrition, IV glutathione, by the way, really important. Any glutathione is important. You'll get glutathione, as we were talking, I think last week we talked to somebody about this, glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. And by the way, they all work together with selenium. Selenium, glutamine, cysteine in the form of NAC or NAC, and the amino acid glycine, which you'll find in bone soup, and whey protein. Those can be helpful too. And then there's the whole toxicity element, and that's very, very important, especially if you're being treated for cancer. So hang tight, Steve. We'll finish up when we come back from our break. Don't go away. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. We're talking to Steve in Santa Cruz about myeloma, which is a blood cancer, cancer of the immune system, cancer of immune cells. Immune cells are dividing really rapidly, super duper rapidly, faster than any other cells probably in the body. And it makes sense that this is one of the places where cancer would occur. Cancer typically will occur, or often occurs, I should say, in cells that are dividing rapidly anyway. But the thing about cancer, Steve, as I was saying before we went to the break, is it's not so much a different disease as it is an extreme disease. It's not different than any other, if you think about it from the cell level, and that's how we have to think about it if we're going to get our power back from the specialists. Specialists are not there for us. They're there for them. We don't need specialists because there's no special diseases. Only when you look at it at the organ level, at the tissue level, which is far down the road, by that time, the cow's out of the barn. Only if you look at it that way, the specialist comes to play, and that's why they never help anybody. So from the cell level, you're dealing with a stressed out cell. Nutrition is key. All the nutrients we talked about before we went to the break. Vitamin C, extra important. I didn't say that, but it is. Zinc also is a very important mineral for the immune system and for cell health. Essential fatty acids, all your fatty vitamins are important. EFAs particularly. Remember, the outside part of a cell is fatty. And cancer, by the way, is largely a membrane issue. In many ways, it's the cell membrane, the oil part of the cell, the fatty layer of the cell that breaks down. Cells talk to each other at the membrane level, and they'll say, hey, there's plenty of us, stop growing. The cells on the top will tell the cells on the bottom to stop growing by communicating to each other. Cancer is a communication issue. A cancer cell is a sociopathic cell. It's not listening. It's only thinking of itself. It's only thinking of its own survival. That's why it's so important to calm the cell down with nutrition. Oxygen does the same thing. And then the third element is detoxification. Making sure that you're not putting the toxins in. That goes without saying, but when you have cancer, many times they give you toxins. So you got to minimize the input of toxicity, just which you absolutely have to if you're doing chemo. Sugar is a toxin. Other drugs are toxins. The less you eat, by the way, the better off you are. That will have an effect on slowing things down. Liquefying your foods is another strategy. Get a book called Cancer Outside the Box by my friend Ty Bollinger. And there's some good tips there. And then don't forget about the mental and emotional strategies. Visualization, for example, helps a lot of folks. And don't be dismissive. I'm not saying you are, Steve, but anybody out there who's dismissive of the idea of using visualization, you really got to look into it. The athletes use it all the time. And I've often said that if an athlete is doing something, that's something we want to at least start paying attention to. And athletes use visualization all the time. And this can be very helpful for dealing with anything in the body, but particularly things that seem out of control, like cancer. So I want to throw a couple other things in there. Chelation therapy is always a good idea for everybody, but especially if you're dealing with cancer and using chelating nutrients, that can help as well. And don't forget about immune-boosting bone soup, which not only boosts the immune system, but is also a good source of protein, which is important for building. And that's by no means exhaustive, but that'll give you a good idea there, Steve. Does that help?
It helps an awful lot. And by the way, I recorded all of this to play it for him.
Good deal.
He also, I think, went through some form of stem cell treatment.
Yeah. That's one of the ways. That's the latest high-tech way of doing it. You know why? It makes a boatload of money, and your friend probably might not have had to pay for it, but we all pay via the insurance. Everybody pays for these super high-tech medical interventions, while these companies make off like bandits, and very few people get better. Although some of the literature on stem cell therapy is kind of compelling, I have to say. But the problem is, it's the soil that's dirty. If you replace this, when they talk about healing cancer with these things, they're talking about 5-year survival. You ever hear that term, 5-year survival? That's how they assess if you're completely cured of cancer, if you have a 5-year survival. But that doesn't mean that you've gotten rid of the problem. And what we're talking about here on this program, we talk about every day on this program, is getting rid of the problem, not simply eliminating the cancer, but cleaning up the soil. Steve, I got to go. I got a bunch of calls here. Thanks so much for your kind words, and have yourself a great day in Santa Cruz, California. Let's go to Angela in Florida. Good morning, Angela. What's up?
Good morning.
Greetings.
How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on today?
Great. I want to tell you what's going on and then kind of ask a question to maybe clarify. So I've just been trying to lessen body fat and kind of keep a steady weight just by working out and eating right, and also doing a little bit of fasting.
Okay.
But I wanted to know, as far as adrenal fatigue, I think you said something about harboring fat around the waist if you're suffering from adrenal fatigue.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but that would be an issue. They're related to each other. Fat around the middle is related to sugar and insulin, and adrenal fatigue is also related to sugar and insulin problems. So via the sugar connection, there is a relationship. Adrenal fatigue is a significant problem, and there's lots of reasons why this will occur. Mostly, it's the same thing. Nutritional deficiency, lack of oxygen, and toxicity in the body. But with the adrenals, because of the relationship, the very close connection between the brain, between how we think, I should say, the mind really, and the adrenal glands, emotional stress, mental stress issues, it's not always going to be just nutritional or oxygen or toxicity. And I know I say this periodically, and it's very important to recognize, because in the world of nutrition, a lot of nutritionists, a lot of people who are nutritionally minded, healthcare professionals, alternative practitioners sometimes, and certainly doctors, they'll marginalize this mental and emotional aspect. And you can't, especially when it comes to the adrenal glands, because the adrenal glands are our survival glands. And when our survival is threatened, whether it's for reals or whether it's just imaginary, the adrenal glands don't know the difference. You see what I'm saying, Angela? So it's not just going to be nutritional, but from a nutritional standpoint, vitamin C is your key adrenal nutrient. In fact, vitamin C and zinc are the two most important adrenal nutrients. Not like they're the only ones. Magnesium is important. Essential fatty acids are important. You can use something called liquid adrenal extract. That can help. Vitamin B12 can help, especially vitamin B12 injections. All your B vitamins are important for the adrenals, particularly vitamin B5, which is another one of those underappreciated vitamins. Pantothenic acid, really important for the adrenal glands. Keeping your sugar intake down, in addition to using the sweeties, using magnesium and alpha lipoic acid and selenium and sulfur, all of which can help you process sugar. The B vitamins are very important for helping you process sugar. Don't forget slow, deep breathing. That's also very important. And then certainly good nutrition, the all-around basic good nutrients, the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. There's also an important relationship between hormones and the adrenal gland, hormone health and the adrenal glands. So making sure you're using not only using your essential fatty acids, which are important for hormone production, but also things like DHEA, which I don't know if you've heard of. Very important adrenal, can be a very helpful adrenal nutrient. You got to make sure you play with the dose. You don't want to take too much DHEA. There's a form of DHEA called 7-keto DHEA. Sometimes DHEA will give you some side effects, particularly hairy kinds of things. And 7-keto-DHEA, which is much more expensive, you'll be able to avoid some of those unpleasant side effects. Also, a hormone that we'll be talking about here in the next few days, something called pregnenolone. That can also be helpful for adrenal fatigue issues. And last but not least, because of this whole fatty connection, using things like lecithin and digestive enzymes can also be helpful. Lecithin and digestive enzymes help you process fats. I got to move, Angela. Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. Have a beautiful day. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Jim in Massachusetts got about a minute. What's going on, man?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, Ben. I'll be real quick here. I was dealing with breakouts on the skin, on the forehead and the cheeks, just rashes and some pimples. Anyway, I started taking the tangy tangerine and the fish oil and the vitamin A and the zinc and everything, and I've been always able to kind of control it. Now it's significant. It's gotten way worse.
It's gotten a lot worse. Okay, well, couple things. First of all, it wouldn't be the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Could be the vitamin A and the essential fatty acids. I don't know necessarily that I would make that connection. It's unusual, but it sounds like you're not processing fats correctly. That would be my guess. So what you want to do is stop the vitamin E and the essential fatty acids and see what happens. Okay, that's first of all. And you're going to have to play around with it. I find that connection to be unlikely, although anything's possible, so you want to experiment a little bit. These are essential nutrients. I mean, they're not optional. So it wouldn't make sense for you to break out just from an essential nutrient. However, if you're not processing it correctly, that can happen. And so what you want to do is play around with it by stopping and then starting, stopping, and then starting. Now, along with that, you're going to want to help use all the strategies for helping your body process fats and absorb fats. And I would be going with the ultimate enzymes, especially after meals. Apple cider vinegar, lecithin, as we talked about with our last caller, can be helpful. You can also use something called betaine HCl, or also bile salts. You'll get some of those in the ultimate enzymes. And get yourself on probiotics too. The ultimate enzymes, or the nightly essence. And then last, but most certainly not least, look for food allergies and food intolerances. Do a food diary. Sounds like you may have some digestive things going on. Thanks for your call, Jim. Appreciate it. That's all the time we have for today. We'll be back at you tomorrow with more good health information. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, beautiful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
You're fired. According to the Small Business Administration, 75% of small businesses plan to eliminate jobs or reduce workers' hours to part-time. You're fired. According to Gallup, the unemployment rate recently jumped to nearly 9%, and the underemployment rate hit a staggering 17.9%. You're fired. 1 out of 3 young adults and 1 out of 2 recent college graduates are underemployed. Hello, I'm Keith Abel, a pharmacist and a home business entrepreneur. In 2011, I became one of those statistics myself. Instead of looking for another job in corporate America, I joined Dr. Joel Wallet, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. We're creating steady incomes for ourselves and would like to show you how to do the same. If you want to supplement your current income, replace your income, so you don't have to become one of the statistics, then give me a call toll-free at 866-257-3105, 866-257-3105. You're fired. Don't wait till you hear those words. Start creating an extra income today. 866-257-3105.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use Door Armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, Door Armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your Door Armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to InvasionStopper.com now. That's InvasionStopper.com.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
As your body ages, there's a 10% decline in your ability to repair each passing decade after the age 28. By age 40, your ability to repair from demanding manual labor, exercise, or a stressful desk job has declined by 12%. By using One World Whey, you supercharge your body's ability to repair and eliminate inflammation. Our unique frequency-encoded whey protein, coupled with our high-quality whey, improves your cell's ability to make protein, which is to say, repair itself.
My name is Jonathan Wright, and I'm 40 years old. I recently went from a desk job to a manual labor job. Normally, I'm worn out. With energy-enhanced One World Whey, I now recover so quickly that I can perform very hard work all day long. I use energy-enhanced One World Whey for breakfast and lunch, and I experience less hunger throughout the day. I have a 30% increase in energy, and I just feel better. I plan to make energy-enhanced One World Whey a permanent part of my lifestyle.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
As the cold and flu season approaches, Silver Lungs is ready to help you and your family through the toughest of the year by supporting your immune system and overall health. From our best-selling colloidal silver generating system to our entire line of silver-based skin gels, nasal sprays, soaps, and silver solutions. Silver solutions remain one of nature's most powerful and least expensive antibacterial agents. Now you can produce your own for pennies a day in the comfort of your home using the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. Learn more today at www.silverlungs.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Ossick with Famous Footwear. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies? That's why we support the March of Dimes in the fight against premature birth. Join us in supporting cutting-edge research, treatment programs, and outreach to help moms have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. Learn how you can help save babies' lives at marchofdimes.org.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Then get on board with the Tax Admiral and let us steer your way to financial freedom.
The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world. They can freeze your bank accounts, seize your car, home, will garnish your paychecks and benefits.
Don't take on the IRS alone. I can fight for you using industry secrets that can help stop the IRS. I'll cut your penalties, slash your interest, and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company with over 30 years experience helping people clean up their mess with the IRS. And we have a 95% customer satisfaction rating.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, are facing an audit, a lien, or levy, then call me right away.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Still wondering what to get that special someone that has everything? At ID Stronghold, we still find that a huge percentage of people do not yet have an RFID blocking wallet or purse to protect them from the new and growing threat of electronic pickpocketing. That's right. Even though 40% of all new chipped payment cards shipped in 2014 contain a wireless interface called RFID that allows the account information to be skimmed by a thief passing near your cards, most people are still unprotected. The good news is that ID Stronghold makes luxurious leather wallets and other products that prevent this. ID Stronghold founded the entire RFID protection industry and has been protecting the RFID chips in government and military ID cards for over a decade. So go to idstronghold.com and get that loved one a stylish leather RFID blocking wallet or clutch. That's idstronghold.com. After all, wallets and purses have always been a great gift. Now they are an even better gift. Visit idstronghold.com today.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs ensures he gets the best use of his mineral supplements by using Youngevity's Ultimate Enzymes.
If you start a nutritional supplement program and you find that you get loose stools more than you get any benefits from the supplements, there's a good chance that you're not absorbing the minerals. Now, here's the thing about minerals and mineral absorption. You need to have a functioning fat system. You need to have functioning bile. You need to have a well-functioning liver and a well-functioning gallbladder in order to get the benefits from nutritional supplements with minerals. It's very common that as we get older, we don't absorb fats, we don't utilize fats, and then you won't be utilizing or absorbing minerals either. I would be getting on the Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity. I'd be making sure I was taking them with all my meals.
To get optimal use of your nutritional supplements, order Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.